Hello everyone, today I'm sharing with you all of the books I'm planning to read for the Reading Rush. So if you don't know, the Reading Rush is a yearly, is that right, the way to say that? I don't know. Yearly readathon that happens every year. It was previously known as the Booktubeathon, but they changed it last year to the Reading Rush to make every kind of platform be able to be involved. So I participate in every year. I used to daily vlog some years, and usually I just put out a week-long vlog, so check that out when it comes out, I suppose. I don't know. There's 7 different challenges. We'll see if I can get to them all. We'll see if I can read all the books I want to read, but here's the books I'm going to read. Gosh, I am not on my A game today when it comes to filming. The challenge is to read a book with a cover that is the color of your birthstone. So every month has a different birthstone. I was born in September, so my birthstone is a sapphire, which kind of is like a dark bluish, I would say, like almost cobalt-y. Is that? So for that, I'm picking What You Wish For by Catherine Center, which is great because this was already on my monthly TBR. I try to weave the books I'm already planning to read for the month into certain readathons. That's what I do. So this is, I'm pretty sure, like the blue matches sapphire. We'll just say it does. So this book is, I believe, a second chance romance between like 2 teachers about Samantha. He used to love the way Duncan drank life in, and then they reunite at a school, and he's now very cold and distant, and she's like, what has changed? And basically that happens. This will be my 3rd or 4th Catherine Center book. It's a women's fiction romance book, and I really enjoy her books. This one comes out this month, so perfect timing. So this is my Sapphire book that I'm picking. The next challenge is to read a book that begins with the letter the, which I thought was going to be really hard for me, but apparently I have a lot of books with the letter the in them. And the one I'm reading for that is The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. This book is written in all verse. This is about a character named Zamora, I believe, that feels unheard and unable to hide in her Harlem neighborhood, but she secretly pours her dreams and frustrations onto the pages of her notebook. So she's invited to join her school slam poetry club. She decides to, release her poem. So this will be my 3rd Elizabeth Acevedo book. I read Clap When You Land last month, which was also written in verse, and fell in love with it because I believe Elizabeth Acevedo is a slam like poetry artist. Hopefully that's the right terminology, but I love her books. I'm excited to read this one. It's won countless awards. As you can see, and I am just stoked to finally read all of her books because she's definitely like my newest favorite author this year. The next challenge is to read a book of something that you've already seen. So what that means is, say that you've seen a movie that was based on a book, but you have not yet read the book. And this was hard for me because I'm pretty decent about book to movie adaptations, especially ones I'm really interested in. And I was just like, crap, I don't know. My first thought was Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie, but I was like, I haven't seen that because I wanted to read the book before I watched it. So that didn't work out. And then I thought, there's a lot of comics and graphic novels of movies I've seen that I have not read of. So I'm going to go that route. So for this one, I am going completely out of my comfort zone and reading like comic books. And I'm not really into comics. I love Marvel. I love stuff like that, the movies. But comics is more like my dad and brother's jam. So for this one, I picked 3. I'm not going to read all 3. I'm going to read 1. We're just going to have to see. The first one is The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Never knew this was a freaking book or graphic novel, comic, whatever you want to call it. I remember watching the movie a long time ago and really loving it. It has Sean Connery, and that's all I remember from it, but it looks fun. We'll have to see. It's very short, so this one might be the winner. And here's what I'm most interested in because I'm just interested to see how I'll feel about it, and that is Watchmen. So, I have watched Watchmen a long time ago when the movie came out, and I remember very vividly my brother really enjoying it and I really not liking it whatsoever. But I've heard amazing things about the comic, and this is truly a comic. Graphic novels is more in my wheelhouse. Comics, not so much. This will be very interesting. I've heard amazing things about the comic. We'll see. And the last one I picked up that I don't think I'll pick up is, that's weird to say, the last one I picked up, whatever, is Batman Year One Deluxe Edition. This is about Batman. You guessed it. I've watched all of the Batman movies. I think. Yeah, I've watched them all, I'm pretty sure. I got really excited for like the one in the 90s, I believe, that had, maybe it was early 2000s, that had like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Uma Thurman as like Poison Ivy and Dr. Freeze. Me and my brother were really excited about that one. But yeah, so these are all things I've seen, but I have yet to read. I always, if I'm honest with you, graphic novels is like my go-to for readathons, especially the Reading Rush, because there's 7 challenges and I can't read full 7 books. That just doesn't happen for me. The next challenge is the first book you touch. And I know you could do a plethora of things for this. So for this, what I'm doing is I have a stack of graphic novels right here that I'm very interested in. One I own that I got in my Owl Crate. It's called Witchy. Another one is called Witch Light. Another one I'm really interested in is The Fire Never Goes Out. This is a memoir and pictures by Noelle Stevenson, who also wrote Nimona, which I read for the Reading Rush a few years ago and loved. And the last one is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Rosemary Valero O'Connell. So basically what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to mix these up, and then I'm just going to do this, and whatever book I touch is going to be the winner. Like, I should probably mix them up more, so. But I can clearly tell which one's is which, so I don't know. We're just gonna close. Okay, Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me, which is the one I was really interested in, so that's great. I've heard mixed reviews about this one, but nevertheless, that was the first book I touched, so we're just gonna go with it. I'll probably read, honestly, maybe all of these, because I can fly through graphic novels in a readathon. The next challenge is to read a book completely outside your house. And I do think some people will struggle with this because of quarantine with COVID and stuff. And I understand that, definitely. You could read it in your car. That's technically outside your house. You can read it on your porch. For me, I'm outside 75% of the time because I have a child and he loves the outside. So we're usually either like swinging or he's in his pool and I can read then. So this one is no problem for me. So one of these is going to be the one I'm going to pick because they're graphic novels. Next up is a genre you've always wanted to read more of. So this one is hard because there's some genres I don't read a ton from and I do want to check out, but I'm not like sure about. For that one, it's going to be like a horror novel, and I picked Night Shift by Stephen King. So this is a whole bunch of short stories by Stephen King. I really want to get into Stephen King, but it intimidates me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think the way he writes is very different from what I'm used to. I don't read a lot of super scary things. I'm getting better by that every single year. I'm actually proud of myself for that, so I'll pat myself on the back. Sorry. But Stephen King is something I just want to at least try. I want to read a full one. So I decided to read one of his short stories because I thought I won't get overwhelmed because they're short stories. This one, I don't even know how many freaking... This has got like, I don't know, 16 or 17 short stories, and it is pretty lengthy. It's like 342 pages, which isn't that bad, but I want to read more of horror and stuff. I've also heard about what this other short story collection a lot of people like, Skeleton Crew. I don't know. I just picked up Night Shift from my library because they had it pretty readily available. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go with that one. And the last challenge is to read a book that takes place on a different continent, and for that I'm reading Vanessa Yu's Magic Tea Shop by Rosalind Lim. I had to look it up because I actually have this on eARC. I believe it's coming out next month. So this one is all about a character named Vanessa who goes to Paris, and yeah, she works at this tea stall in a Parisian antique market. So I live in America. Paris is in Europe, a completely different continent. So there we go. So those are all the books I'm planning to read for this readathon. Do I think I'll read like 7 books? It's possible because a lot of them are going to be graphic novels, but I plan to read at least 3 full-length novels, which is good for me for a week. That's definitely like my average, I would say. So no, I want to read 4 full-length novels and more graphic novels. Ugh, I don't know. Time will tell. I always say that. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to vlog for the Reading Rush, so be sure to check that out when the Reading Rush is over and how I did. Fingers crossed I will do well. We shall see. I always say the same things. Either way, I would love to know what you're reading for the Reading Rush. Please leave your TBR down below. I would be very interested to hear. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.